What's up, guys? Welcome to Metal Forge Reviews. Hope everybody is happy and safe. Ben and I have a new series that we want to call the Underground Spotlight. These are difficult times for artists, and we feel that spreading the word is one of the best ways that you can support a band. Even if you can't financially support them by picking up merchandise or something like that, share their work. That is by far one of the best ways to get your stuff out there. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're creating new exciting content every week related to metal releases, and your input matters, honestly. Hit us up with suggestions and start a conversation. Before we get started, I'd like to take this time to mention a friend of ours and a really amazing person in the New England metal scene, Dwayne Eldridge of Mourn the Light. If you haven't heard Mourn the Light yet, check them out. They got a new album coming out. They just recorded it over at Wormwood Studios. I can't wait to hear it. He organized a fundraiser to continue to improve Altones Music Hall in Jewett City, Connecticut. Many people have sunk a lot of time and money into improving the club before COVID-19 hit. They need our help to continue and improve this place as a significant hub for bands to showcase their music when we can do that again safely. Money raised will go towards the club and improving it so that it can continue to be the important place that it is. Again, if you can't support monetarily, that is perfectly fine. Please share the GoFundMe. I will link that in the comments and spread the word. So let's throw it to our first band. Our first band here is Ovader, Wotankult. These guys are from Bulgaria, and this album was released on June 9th of 2020. This is the first album by the black metal band since their EP in 2019. I just discovered this band, and they have amazing melancholic and melodic vibes all over this record, and the album artwork is pretty awesome. It reminds me of all the best reasons why I love a melodic black metal record. It's dismal, dark, gorgeous, full of songs that get stuck in your head for days. Here's a clip from Those from the Underworld. Their physical release is to come out on Doomsday Elite in the USA and Lower Silesian Stronghold in Europe. Go on their Bandcamp, support them. They absolutely deserve it. Ben, let's throw it over to you and see what you picked.
Thanks, Brandon. Welcome in, everybody, to the Underground Spotlight. My first band of today is Kardashev in their album The Barring of Shadows. It's an EP. These guys come from Tempe, Arizona, and this was released on May 12th. 2020. I actually discovered these guys through the Cardavox Academy. Mark Garrett, the singer of the band, actually has a really awesome YouTube page where he does vocal lessons. So this is a progressive band, and their EP moves away from their deathcore roots into a more atmospheric sound. It's really awesome. There's lots of elements from a variety of genres, and it's done very tastefully and with very good direction. It's full of an introspective vibe, and the musicianship on this record is awesome. It's a three-piece band, and Mark Garrett's vocals are amazing. They really stand out. So let's throw it over to a clip from the song Heartache. You can support Kardashev through their Bandcamp, their Patreon, or their web store. Besides their music, they actually have a lot of really cool art that came out with this EP, and you can just buy like prints of their art, and it's really awesome stuff. I highly recommend that you check that out. And they have awesome merchandise that you could check out and support. So support Kardashev. And Brandon, what do you got next?
The next band that I have on my list is Cosmovore, Into the Necrosphere. These guys are from Germany, and this EP was released on May 24th of 2020. This EP caught my eye simply from the album artwork. My God, does this music do this gorgeous, bleak image justice. The album art was done by the legendary Beksinski, a Polish painter in the field of dystopian surrealism. This was my first introduction to Cosmovore, and although this release is on the shorter side, it is punishing throughout with all the blistering, beastly elements of death and black metal. Here's a clip from The Watchers. Support these guys on Bandcamp. They need to keep making music. And if they keep using paintings from this artist and doing music that matches it, this is a really, really cool match made in hell. Ben, what do you got next?
Next up, I have A Light in the Dark with their third full-length album, Insomnia. This is a one-man project from Moscow, and this album came out on June 8th, 2020. I found it on Bandcamp, and holy crap, this is right up my alley. It is for anyone who really likes their black metal infused with post-rock. And it's also cool because there's some glitchy, like, electronic elements that really speak to me as a fan of electronic music. So when these, like, glitching things come on, I'm like, ooh, that's really well done. And when it's well done and tasteful, I love it. I eat it up. I really like this kind of black gaze, post-black metal style. I'm very excited because when I came across them, I realized that their back catalog is pretty big, so I'm going to be checking that out for sure. Here's a clip from the song Fragments. You can support Insomnia by checking out their Bandcamp. There's limited edition vinyls, so be sure to check that out as well. Throwing it over to you, Brandon.
That's a great pick, Ben. When you suggested that album to me, I actually really dug it the first time I listened to it. I haven't sat with it enough yet to really fall in love with it, but I know I'm going to. The next one I have on my list is Undercliff, The Comfort of Innsmouth. These guys are from Hartford, Connecticut, and this was released on June 5th of 2020. Holy shit, the production on this thing. The band caught my eye a few years ago after Ben and I shared the stage with these guys in Providence, Rhode Island. Huge sounds from these Doomstairs. Wall of amps, just tons and tons of tone. Paul is an interesting fellow as he's actually the owner and creator of PLX Effects, and he makes his own guitar pedals, which is a pretty awesome thing. I mean, that's such an interesting thing to say as part of your music creating endeavor. You actually made your own gear too. They're clearly gearheads, and the production of this record shows the product of the tone chasing that these guys do, and the vocals are absolutely crushing. Here's a clip from Pharma Funeral. They've got CDs and vinyl on Bandcamp. Pick something up. These guys deserve your attention. They are insanely good. Ben, what do you got next?
Yeah, it was really cool playing with Undercliff down at dusk. That was definitely an eye-catching band and an ear-catching band because, as you said, they were super loud, but they also had really, really good sonic qualities. Next up on my list is another local band from Boston, Massachusetts. This is Stagnater with their Guillotine demo. It came out on March 3rd, and this is the debut demo from the Death Grind band hailing from Boston. The music is brutal and punishing. It knows exactly when to breathe and exactly when to suffocate you. But it also feels very cohesive, and instead of a piecemeal sort of approach that a lot of grind bands kind of go with, something I don't really care for in this style. The cover art by guitarist Mark Richards is eye-catching and grotesque. It's a nice combination. Here's a clip from Lobotomy Bruises. You can support Stagnater by going to their Bandcamp page. At this time, only digital releases are available, but if you like the artwork, definitely go onto their website and grab a shirt and support Mark Richards' work by sharing his stuff or checking out his web store as well.
That's a great pick, too. The Stagnater demo is freaking unrelentingly brutal, and I don't typically listen to grindcore, but that EP blew me away, and I can't wait to hear more from those guys. Plus, Mark Richards is a really cool dude. Heavy hand illustration. Check it out. Next one I have on my list, Hail the Void, self-titled. These guys are from British Columbia, and their release was on June 2nd. This band has it all, and I don't understand how they have not blown up yet. The album screams everything that I love about my favorite records from Typo Negative, Danzig, and Acid Bath. The performances are stellar, and holy shit, the vocals deliver. The album artwork is also amazing, with the black and white vibe and the kind of otherworldly sort of looking thing. And this band has everything and more for fans of stoner rock and doom. Here's a clip from Parasite.
Stop,
Every song is catchy as hell. I can't put this record down. Give these guys some love. I really hope that they press physical copies of this because I want to pick up one. Go to their Bandcamp, support the hell out of them. They totally deserve it. Ben, what do you got next?
That's a great pick, Brandon. That was an awesome song to showcase. I really enjoyed that song and a few other tracks off that album as well. Next up on my list is Fullmane, Full Moon in English. This is a Norwegian one-man black metal band with their album Lurking in the Dark, and it was released on March 20th, 2020. This is raw, punk-inspired black metal for fans of lo-fi, crusty, no shits to give sort of black metal. It really sounds like something that you might find at Euronymous' record store, Helvete, which Brandon suggested, and I was like, yeah, it totally does. There are lots of interesting choices in the production of this album, and I personally don't really connect with this sort of lo-fi black metal, but I know that some of you will. So I hope that you enjoy this track, Lurking in the Dark. You can support Fullmane by going onto their Bandcamp page and following them on Instagram, where they actually got in touch with us and they were like, hey, could you check this out? And I was like, yeah, I'll totally check it out. There's some limited edition magazines, too, in which they gave an interview, which is kind of a cool thing to do by supporting them. You could buy a magazine where they gave an interview. Really neat. Check them out, Fullmane from Norway. And that's it for me. So, Brandon, close it off with you.
I love that we're getting suggestions from people, too. And honestly, we encourage that. Please reach out to us. If you got a release that's recent and new and coming up and you think is really great, or someone else thinks your band is really great or whatever, hit us up. The last one that I got on my list is Utkena, Nex Fornix. These guys are from Greece. They have an album about to come out on June 20th on Pest Productions. Another band that I'm totally blown away by, and I don't understand how they've really not been discovered yet. I found these guys on the Black Metal Promotion YouTube channel, which I highly recommend you guys check out if you haven't already, and I was immediately hooked. This album is relentless. It's full of eviscerating riffs and melodies. The vocals are crushing, and the drummer is a total beast. Here's a clip from Leith. He's available for purchase on Bandcamp. Definitely pick this up. These guys are freaking awesome. I'm definitely going to pick up a copy. In these difficult times, it's important to remember to support one another. If you cannot support through funds, which is completely understandable given the state of the world right now, the next best thing is to share this video and the bands you love. Word of mouth is everything. Your support means the world to the artists. The fans are everything. Thank you again for tuning in. Be safe and kind to one another. We'll see you next time. And make sure you subscribe and share. Be safe.